Alright, so a little bit of a different video today. I wanted to do a opening of a couple packs for my party box, just to kind of populate it with some new cards. Uh, you know, Outside of opening packs for booster tutors for a party box with Magic the Gathering, if you're not familiar with it, by the way, I'll leave a link to the original video of it in the description here. Very cool little format that I strongly recommend anybody checks out if they really are into Magic, but also into kind of just misc card games. It's very cool. It combines a lot of different games and a lot of different rules together, and overall is a really different experience, but kind of unique at its core, which is really cool. Anyway, so oftentimes in that format, you use booster tutors to add cards and you sign them and all that. But every once in a while, you just kind of open a pack or two, at least I do, just to kind of populate it with new cards, because while it's a party box and all that, I do kind of treat it as like a mini cube where I kind of just tinker around with the cards in it and cycle through them and all that. So usually I'll do like some grandiose picking through of the packs I have, and I have probably 30 or 40 of them by now, just accumulated from all kinds of different games, from Metazoo all the way down to Pokemon, back to Magic, and just all kinds of different stuff. But I mainly wanted to open Metazoo because I don't like just having packs accumulate for a different game without having it kind of get used. So we're going to go down to 4 packs in Metazoo here. So we're going to open 2 UFOs and 2 Cryptid Nations. And we're just going to see if there's any cool cards we can add to our mini cube. I think this is the first type of video I've recorded kind of IRL like this. And I intend to probably do more eventually down the line. So you got to kind of look at, the different things with the games. In this case, like, you would read this card, for instance, and it's a, let's see here, it's 2 mana for 50 HP. Don't really ignore or follow any of this stuff. Arena, at the end of this turn, if this beastie did not declare an attack, awaken it. So that would likely be up to some kind of interpretation. I'd have to read what awaken does in the Metazoo rules, but, and then it does an attack for 10 that does 40 plus damage if it was declared as a defender. So if it's blocking, it blocks as a 50-50, but if it's attacking, it attacks as a 10-50. That card's kind of cool. Got the Grunch Road Monster. This guy's kind of cool. So you can bring him back every time something gets destroyed. The Blockheads. Oh, hell no. So these are some actually ones that I kind of like when it comes to like the way that they work with Magic. So when you play it, you can place a piece of cloth on a creature in the arena, and if you do, the beastie does not awaken. So I wonder if awaken might be summoning sickness. That card's kind of cool. The Trusty Baseball Bat. A Drought. I've not really been big on these like spells for Metazoo. Whenever I pick cards, I have not added one yet, at least. A Dwarf Star. That is actually quite cool. See, this card would probably be something cool that you would add. So this would be 3 for a 50. It would just kind of chill there, kind of like an artifact, as it says artifact at the top there. And then if there's a star-shaped necklace with an eyesight, it's considered active, and then Supernova deals 30 damage to all creatures in play, and you inflict something on... Okay, that doesn't matter. And then it goes away. Kind of a cool card. I like the designs like that, where it's like... it's cute. I like the... Oh, Miss Luna. I like the designs like that, where it's like, tree token. The thing is there's a lot of cards, especially with a lot of other games, where they're kind of really ambiguous as to how they would work with Magic. Let's see here. If there are Christmas lights with an eyesight, all monsters recover 10 HP. Disappear in days. You may send this beastie or creature to the afterlife, so you may kill it, or sacrifice it. If you do, inflict all beasties with confusion, probably. The thing is that a lot of the that card would likely be on the list of ones to add. The Foo Fighters here, good band. We'll go through like the main picks at the end here, and then see. We'll probably end up only adding like 1 or 2 cards, which is usually what I do. I do actually kind of like this guy too, and I did not read this like shiny card. Create 2 friend tokens. Beasties with 30 damage attack, 30 HP. All friend tokens created this way belong to a tribe of your choice until they leave. You shake hands with an opposing caster before you cast this. costs 1 less to cast. So if you shake somebody's hand that you're playing against, it'd be 3 mana for 2 30/30s. It's actually kind of cool. Toss that in that little pile too. But yeah, it's all about, when it comes to Party Box, kind of determining like the actual value of what you're getting relative to the mana cost. And it's like, there's, as an example, Yu-Gi-Oh cards in here that are 0 mana for 1,000. It's all relative to what you're using it for. We have a Chibi Mothman. This guy's kind of cute. Date of birth 2020. I like Mothman. Oh, this is the Cryptid Nation pack. I don't know if I said that or not. So this is a lightning bolt. It's 1 mana, just 25 damage to a creature. It's cool, but the problem is, I've found, is that a lot of the cards in this box here are, to put it lightly, just removal. Like, most of it is just like giant fucking creatures, and then that is really fucking cool. I like this card right here. All same witches in the battlefield. All spells cost 1 less of any type. Target caster with at least 4 pages. The chosen caster discards 2 pages at random from their chapter. If any page that's discarded as a spell, nothing happens. Again, that's one of those ones where we'd have to read up on what it does. Big Mothman here. I guess that was a sign with the little chibi Mothman. That is very cool. Again, that's one of those long form ones that we would have to read and kind of figure out what it translates to Magic in, because, again, while you're playing with all these different card games, last pack of UFO here for the video, while you're playing all these different card games, or all these cards from different card games, rather, it follows the loose framework of Magic as it's like rule set, so, An earth-shattering quake. The Headless Cannoneer. I like that artwork. That's like a sloth, look at him. Or an anteater. That card is really fucking cool. The thing I like about Metazoo is I just absolutely, these are like the Ghostbusters. I just absolutely love the fact that they pull from real life cryptids, with the dates and all that. I just think it's so fucking cool. So this wouldn't actually probably be that good in Party Box, right? So it's 3 mana for a 50, or 25/50 essentially. And then something may not attack or be declared as an defender, so it cannot attack or block until the end of next turn when you play it. It's cool, but it's just like, again, relative to a lot of the things that are going on in the box, it's just not on there. So this is also, unfortunately, there's a friend token, by the way, from the other card that makes the friend tokens. That's really pretty. It's a very pretty island, actually. I don't know if I would argue that that's an island, but it's very pretty. The one problem with a card like this, while it's cool, is it references another one, and functionally speaking, you can't. It's not going to work that way, because there's no other copies of it probably that will ever exist in the box. So that pack was kind of a dud in terms of stuff that we would want to add. I mean, there's a couple things that were kind of cool. I do think this card is cool, but it's just not good enough in my opinion. What does Kodiak Dinosaur do? It's a 60/90 for 4. We're not going to worry about that. So here is the stack of cards that we have that we're debating on. So we've got a Mothman, a very pretty Mothman. I think I'm going to do the Salem Witches, actually. I love Salem. Being from New England, I'm a big fan of that area. So it's very likely that that one will be going in here. The Chibi Mothman, he's cute, but that's probably going to be a no. I still like Forest Friends. That one very likely will go in. The Cloth, while it's cute and I like its design, is probably a no. And if they're Christmas lights with an eyesight, everything heals when you play it. So really, let's read up on Mothman real quick and make our decision. So he's 5 mana for a 100/100. When he's cast, you may have target opposing caster bookmark pages from the top of their spellbook until they have 7 pages in their chapter, and you prophesize any non-aura page. If the chosen caster has 7 or more pages in their chapter already, they do not discard or bookmark any pages. Then reveal a page at random from the chosen caster's chapter, and if it's the page you named, they lose the game. If it's not the page you named, place Mothman in your entire chapter in the graveyard. So the problem is to my understanding, how I'm reading this, you could technically play it off of just what they have, like in play already, you know what I mean? Or in the graveyard or whatever. It's a shared graveyard, shared library. But when you play it like kind of like cube-wise, it's not, but that's a whole other thing. I just don't think this card would actually work too well in Party Box like the way that we would want it to. This card is really cool. So it's when it's in play, all spells cost 1 less. And then accuse target caster with at least 4 pages in their chapter. The chosen caster discards 2 pages at random from their chapter. If a page that is discarded in a spell, I'm guessing chapter, by the way, is hand. That's just an insinuation I have. I've not read the rules for this just yet, or Metazoo just yet. 2 pages are read from the chapter. With the page that's discarded as a spell, nothing happens. If neither pages are spells, the next spell the caster casts may be cast without paying its mana cost. I think we're going to put both of these in the 2 here. I'm just a big fan, really a big fan of, again, Salem. And, like, really, you know, I don't play this an insane amount, but I play it enough to where, like, you know, we can tinker around with a lot of the cards and, you know what I mean, kind of see, and I wouldn't say play test with them, but, you know, at least see how they perform. And, you know, I have cuts that I make all the time to the deck, and I have cards that I add all the time, and anything that gets signed always stays, but, you know, and there's stuff that comes in that stays forever, too. There's just some things that will not be ever leaving the box, you know what I mean? But, you know, as an example, real quick, we'll go over some of it just to kind of show it off. So you have Echoing Truths, Cruella de Vil from Lorcana. I couldn't think of the name of it for a second here. Wand of Wonder, very good card. Good old Thraben Inspector, Inspector Gadget. I've been really thinking, so on the topic of cutting cards, I've been really thinking about cutting Griff Spoon. I think it's so fun to, like, the story of it, I think, is better than the card itself. Being able to have, like, some random Yu-Gi-Oh thing that's 1,000 attack at +1/+0, and now it flies, you know what I mean? And you kill somebody with it because it flies. I really like that. But this card's been on the outs for a while. I added a Deep Cavern Bat a while ago, a Cerberus, a dog. Here's one of the little Sharpied cards. So this is 0 for essentially a Mox Jet that you can then cash in for some cards. I think twice. Another card I added forever ago, a Yu-Gi-Oh card here. The cats, I don't think, are very happy. They're like, please stop, I'm hungry. Chart of Course, Scourge of the Throne, Voice of Resurgence, and then the new ones. But yeah, so, you know, I would say these will be cool in it. I've added a lot of Metazoo cards, though, so it's kind of one of those things where I feel like only time is really going to tell on how they actually affect the box. But anyway, kind of a different video than ones I've ever done before. Like I said, I don't think I've ever uploaded or done a IRL video, but that is all for now. I might return and open more packs or something if that's cool. They're fighting over territory. I might return and open more packs eventually, or, you know, something, who knows. I do want to do more content like this as I'm kind of shifting away from video games as my focus of stuff that I'm doing in my spare time to cards and all that. Maybe even do a video with the Party Box here. You know, we get out, at least I try to play it once a week. So, you know, get out and show off some of the cards and have some fun with it and all that. And add some new stuff like this guy. But anyway, that is all for now. Thanks for watching, and I will catch everybody later. Bye-bye.